Hello, good day to everybody. Hello, good day to everybody. This is Gift, and today, this night, we'll be walking through an automation which enables us to do a lot of PR letters. So, we're going to be using Microsoft tools and various automation tools to make sure that that works correctly. So today we are going to be doing that. Now, the first thing I would want us to look at is we're going to have a scenario where possibly you have over 1,000 employee in your company and you want to be able to uh, send out a custom performance review letter to each and every one of them. How are you going to do that? So that's what we are going to be walking through today. How do you do that? So let's say you work for company XYZ and you have about 1,000 employees and it's mid-year, you have done uh, some performance review and you want to get to it. So we're going to be using a good number of AI tools and also Microsoft 365 to automate all of this process. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm simply just going to go to ChatGPT so that I generate live dummy data so that you can see the live dummy data. So let me quickly get that. So let's say we have um, some columns that I'm going to be listing here, like the name, employee, some other information. So let's go ahead and pull that up on the screen. So let's say we have all of these columns, okay, all of these columns which include things like the employee's name, things like the employee's name. Okay, we have the employee's name, the job title, their current band, their current pay rate, okay, the country they belong to, their current CPI, their currencies, and some other information about the employee. This will be provided possibly by the company itself, and possibly you will be able to get this data. So we're just going to give this to ChatGPT and then we are going to ask it to go ahead and create a lot of dummy data using this. Okay, all right, so um, let's see, hold on, I'm going to try and work on my network. so good to have you back. So let's see, possibly we have this amount of data, and then we want to try and see how we can tell ChatGPT to generate some data for us. So we're just going to tell it to go ahead and generate like 10 records for us. So we can see use this data to generate 10 different responses for us in an Excel format. So what this is going to do basically is that it's going to simply generate 10 more records for us. All right, so let's just continue. So with what we have before, we said that we are going to be creating a PR letter for about different set of people, and we said from what I have on my screen was that let's say we have so many employees and we want a case that we create custom letters for each of them. How do we go about that? That is what we are going to be looking at. So to look at that and be sure that it works correctly is the first thing we want to do is we are supposed to have an Excel sample of the data that we want to do a mail match for. So I'm getting this sample and I'll paste it here that has things like their name, their title, their current band, salary, country, and some other information, which I will now go ahead and tell ChatGPT to generate some dummy data for me. So I would prompt it like this by saying generate 10 records for the following headers of Excel workbook, Excel workbook. So once we do that now, what this is going to do for us basically or technically is that it's going to generate some sample data for us. Okay, so um okay, it just gave us some headings. So let's see, I could simply just tell it that I want it to give me the data as an Excel file which has all these headers and some dummy data, about 10 of them in total. So what I did now is that I am providing, I'm asking it to give me some dummy data just for us to use for this example. So at the end of the day, so that we don't use any actual employees data, so I'm just going to download this now. Once I download this, I am going to then try to see how we can use this data. Currently downloading, and once it's downloaded, I'm gonna view it right here. Okay, the Excel file is downloading, and I'll be opening it now. Okay, while we are on that, one other thing we could do quickly while we are still on this, we could also tell ChatGPT um, to give us a little bit of letter template that would match this okay. So I would ask it to give me a letter template that would also match this. All right, I'll ask it to give me a letter template that would match this as well. So I could simply just say give me a letter template that will match this document as well in MS Word format. Okay, so what I'm doing here is that I am just trying to get a letter template as well. Okay, the letter template is generating. Okay, I have some of them here. This is a letter template uh, from ChatGPT that we are going to be customizing with Power Automate as well. Okay, so we're going to be customizing this letter as well. So I'll just go ahead and download it. Go ahead and download it as a document, not as a PDF, but as a document. Okay, so now that I have it downloaded, I'm gonna pull up the two samples we have now, which is the uh, which is firstly the Excel we have created, and also in addition the MS Word template we have created. So I'm gonna drag it to the other screen so that we all can see it on this my other screen. So I'm gonna pull it up here. Now this is the exact template that ChatGPT went ahead to generate for us. So what we want to do now, all we want to do now is that you can see all these names are dummy data. Please take notes so that my video will not be taken down. All these are dummy data. They are dummy data, and these are just headers which we are going to be utilizing as well. Okay, all these are dummy data. So let's now you can see we have some names here, the job title and the other things. So we're going to be doing some automation with this so that everybody on this list have a custom email or a custom letter for them. So let's go ahead and then open the MS Word document as well that was generated from uh, from the ChatGPT prompt. So I'm just going to also try and open that here and drag it to the screen as well. It's coming up. Okay, now this is the this is going to be the MS Word document we'll be working on, and we'll be formatting this MS Word document to fit in. Okay, we're going to be formatting this MS Word document to fit in and correctly show the informations as we deem fit, right? Based on the informations we are going to have. So the first thing I want to do is definitely I want to click on edit, this enable editing. I have to enable it first. Alright, now I'm going to enable editing. Now once I enable my editing, now the next thing I want to do is if you have a company logo, this will be the kind that this should be there, the address should be there, the website, but let's just keep it very simple for this evening. So we're gonna delete that. I want to keep it very simple. So what we can do here is the date of the letter can be dynamic or can be we can set it on a go. So but for now we're going to set it on a go. I'll just keep it simple. Today is 12th of August, so that's 12th of August then 2026. I'm just going to press enter. Then watch this. This is where the trick comes in. Okay, this is where the magic is going to happen now. So let's go ahead and for these two employees name, remember you see here says employees name, right? Employees name. Now I want you to go to, I already have it called the developers option tab on my ribbon. Okay, I have the developers tab on my ribbon. But if you don't have the developers tab on your ribbon, what you want to do is first and foremost go to file, then go down to options. Okay, then once you're on options, go to the custom ribbons. then you see that the developers option is not checked. By default it will not be checked, so you want to check that because you're going to be needing that to custom this letter, to customize these letters. So you click on OK, and by default you should have the developers option appearing here. Once you have it here, that is the first step to achieving this goal. That's the very first step to achieving this goal. So now what I want you to do next is that you're going to highlight the name. Remember, in the Excel over here, we have a column for name, right? Job title and some other columns, right? So now what we are going to be doing is we want this field for employee's name to be dynamically filled, right? To be dynamically filled every time. We want the name to be dynamically filled. So you're going to go to the option where it says controls from your developers option. You have option for rich text and plain text. uh, I'm hovering over it. It's like a capital letter A and a small letter A, the one that is not bolded. You want to click on that, and once you click on that, you get to see that you have the option here that it has filtered it and give it like it has converted it to a plain text. Now once that is done, the next thing you want to do is check the property and give it a name. This is very, very important. Give it a name. So since we have employees name, employers names, employees name here, I can simply just call it name, all right, or e name, depending on but just take note of, because in the automation that's going to be applied, or we can even give it a proper name, depending on you. Just make sure you remember what you have there. So this is going to be called employee's name. All right, so it's going to be called employee's name. I don't want to put space in between it. It's going to be called employee's name. Now you click on OK. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So now that it's called, we have done that of the employee's name. You're going to go on and repeat that process for every other column. So we're going to have the title over here. Then in the title, we click on the plain option. I said the one that looks like a capital letter and a small letter. We're going to go ahead and click on it as well. Now you see the title has been highlighted as well for us. So we want to click on property. Then you want to give this field a name, because this is the field name that the Power Automate is going to recognize. So you give it a field name called title. Make sure you do that. Now let's quickly repeat that for every other column. So we do that for current band and current band plus step. We're going to do that again. Just quickly customize that. You click on the property. This is I'll just say C current band and step, just CS. take note, you can remember that. Then we have that, we have the country. All right, we have the country. Now I'm going to also make that a plain text, and the property. Now in the property, I want you to also quickly do give it a title called the country. Don't forget, give it a name you remember. Okay, here we have the employee's name again, so you can highlight this. If you're not sure of what you did over here, you can simply just copy this one and come over here to this one below, just paste it here. Okay, so so that we don't use a different name. Now we have the name also here, employee's name. Now here we have more details. This is the current band and step again. So since I have it up here, I can simply just copy this. You should see on my keyboard, come over here to this table. All right, I want to make it a better table, so I'll just quickly add some layout to it to give it a better view. All right, so now I'm just going to clear out whatever is here and Control V. This will add the CS for me. Now we have this for the band, for the currency. Okay, we haven't done currency before, so you go back to developers tab, then you click on the option for plain text. You want to add the property for that. Property for that will be currency. Make sure you give it a name you will remember. It's called currency. Right, currency. Now we have salary. We haven't done salary too before, so we are going to have that too over there. So let's quickly make that a plain text. Then property, we make it the property. Then this is going to be the salary, very important. Salary, you make it the salary. Okay, now you click on OK. Now this have covered both the currency and the salary. So we have country before. I can easily copy that of the country before, then come over here and just simply go ahead and apply the country. You get to see that that's already there before. All right, now that's there before, so I don't have to repeat it all over again. Now we have the CPI. CPI has not been done before, so I'm going to copy that, highlight that out, quickly filter, go to plain text, then property, then I'll call it CPI. All right, okay. Now finally we have currency again. So some of these are just repetitions. I can easily just copy this currency and go ahead and put it here. All right, so I have it here now. So just for the sake of this, I know this is already way long, so I'm just going to clear out every other information here, just for the purpose of this quick demo. So now once you have done this, we have gone ahead to customize each of these columns here. So we're going to save this document. Make sure you save the document. All right, now once you save the document, then there's one common error we used to get, which is the text field error. You want to come here and make sure that all these columns are set as text, as a text column. If not, you're going to run into some errors later. So you highlight this and make sure all of them are formatted as text. Yeah, they are formatted as text. Do try to do that. If not, you'll run into some challenges later. So now that we have done this, I'm also going to save this version. I'm also going to save this version. By the way, if you are enjoying it so far, kindly give the channel a sub. I would appreciate that. Thank you very much. So now, once you have done this, once you have done this, the next thing we have on our list is to go ahead and upload it to our OneDrive. All right. Yeah, your OneDrive. So you're going to upload this document to your OneDrive. So I'll just go ahead and open up my OneDrive. All right. I will go ahead and open up my OneDrive. Now, once it's open, we're going to create a folder structure, which I'm just going to show you in a minute. So you can see this is a previous one I've worked on. We have we have a folder where all the Excel. Let's say you have for different categories. We have a folder where we have that of the Excel data. We have that of the uh, Word template. We have that of the generated files and then the PDF. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to go back and we're going to create a duplicate of that file. So I'm just going to try and make a duplicate of this. Now you can structure your own data in a different way. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and rename this. I'll rename this file. Okay, I'll try and rename this file. Make sure you rename it to something you remember. You can say PR letters, PR letter. Okay, so you update that. Now inside the document, so we're going to open the PR letter folder. Inside it, I want you to have four folders. One is going to be the Excel data. So this is a previous one, so I'm going to delete that one out. I'm going to delete that. That's deleted. So create a new folder called Excel data. That's where you're going to upload the Excel template we generated. So go ahead and upload, select that and upload it quickly. Okay, this is it. So I'm uploading, currently uploading it, and boom, you have it there. So now the next thing is the Word template should also be in a different folder. So I'm going to delete these two over here. I'm going to delete it. So once this is deleted now, the next thing I want to do is upload the current MS Word templates that we just formatted. So this is it. So I'm going to upload that here. All right, so you can see it's here. Now the next thing we want to do is I want to empty the letters I have here before. So you can have different groups, different categories. Maybe the first 2 years, the second 2 years, first 5 years, one step progress, two-step progress, depending on various uh, groups you have. So, but for now, since we don't have any group, I'm just going to delete that folder so that it just generates the letter here. That will be the MS Word will be generated here. Then also we're going to convert it to PDF because you don't want to send an MS Word document that is not formatted to somebody. So I'm going to also generate the PDF. So I'm also going to have a folder called PDF, which is going to have it. So a quick recap. We're going to have 4 folders here. One is for the data, one is for the template, one is for the MS Word document that will be generated, and one is for the PDF document that will be generated as well. Alright, so once you have done this, now let's head over to the main tool that gets to do it for us, which is the Power Automate. Right, the Power Automate. So let's go ahead and go to Power Automate. Everybody hold on. Let's go back to Power. We're going to Power Automate, and in Power Automate we're going to create a flow that is going to check each of those uh, names in the Excel, and it's going to create a custom letter for each and every one of them. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so we have a Power Automate over here. Now the next thing I want us to do is you're going to go ahead and click on create. Right, click on create. Now from the create button, I want you to go ahead and um, click on instant cloud flow. I know we have a couple of them, like the automated cloud flow, the instant cloud flow, the scheduled, and the other types of it. But for now, we're going to do with the instant cloud flow. So, and for the instant cloud flow, we're just going to click on that because and give your flow a name. You can call it PR letters. You can call it automation for PR letters. So basically, you're going to call it a name that you're going to remember. So we can just call it PR letter workflow. Okay, I'm just going to call it PR letter workflow. Okay. Flow. All right. So you're going to select a manual to trigger. We want to manually trigger it so that it doesn't go automatically without our permission. So you simply click on create. Now once you click on create, you wait for it to load up the environment. That's the Power Automate environment. Just go ahead and wait for it. Alright, go ahead and wait for it. Now once you are here in the design view, I personally like the classic view, so I'm going to switch to over to the classic view. I prefer the classic view, just not for any reason. Preferably, I just prefer the classic look. So you want to go over to the classic view, then it's going to ask you, do you want to make changes? Okay, let it go without saving, that's perfectly fine. All right, so it's going to pull up our classic view look now. um, Once it's on our classic view form, then you want to click on new step. All right, new step. Now in our new step, one of the first things you want to do is you have to import the Excel. You have to view the Excel and make sure that the Excel is visible. It's visible right here, so you want to do that first. Then we'll also import MS Word so that we can populate those fields. Right, so coffee break. All right, back from the coffee break. So what we are just going to do now is that we're going to proceed with the flow. We're going to proceed with the flow. So now what we are just going to do is try to see, we have gotten to the point where we know that this flow, we have to import Excel so that the Excel can help us. We can import the Excel template we want to get our data from. So now what you do is you search for Excel. All right, in the action bar here, you should see where it says get a row. All right, get a row. You're going to click on that. Once you click on that, so no, pardon me. So we're just going to not get a row, we're going to list a row. So you can always delete the flow. So what do we do now is we simply add a new step and list, just say list. All right, so let's see, Excel, then list, we can list a row. Okay, list, let's see, yeah, the first one here, list rows present in the table. You want to go with that. All right, you want to go with that. Simply go with that first. Now once, what this is asking you is some basic information, and it expects you to be able to um, provide those information. One of the information is asking here is the location. Okay, it's asking of the location of the file. Okay, so we're going to click here, and remember that it's in our OneDrive for business. Then it's asking of the document library, that is the library which is in OneDrive. Then the file itself. All right, it's asking for the file itself. So I'm going to expand this, and I'm going to go up. I'm sure I look for PR letters. Yeah, PR letters. Now in PR letters, I am going to click on this to the arrow to navigate inside it. Then remember our exact data is located in the first one here. So you're going to go ahead and export that, and then you can find the data here. So you import that data. Now, all right, so you're going to see if a table is not showing up here, you could see it says no table found, right? That's a common error which I intentionally and deliberately left. The error here is that you have to format this Excel as a table. So it's very easy. Simply go back to your data, go back to the Excel, then you can open up the Excel file and format the data as a table, because uh, the system will read the data as a table, not as a default Excel format. So what I will simply do is Control A on my keyboard, press Control A on my keyboard. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. All right, so I'm going to press Control A on my keyboard, and you see where it says format as a table. I want to format this data as a table. You can go with any option. Yeah, the first row is the header. Good. So you can see this is formatted as a table now. So if you click on this, you can come to table design, and you see that the table name is table 1, right? You can see the table name is table 1. That is very important. Very, very important. So take note of the table name, because that's what we are going to use to cross-reference this table in our automation. Right, in our automation, that's what we're going to use to cross-reference it. So what I want you to do now is go back to your automation flow, then you click on you'll have to save. You might not be able to save, but what you can do is you can go back to the root folder, that is for the file. Go back and select it. All right, go back and select. It's called PR letters. You expand it out, then Excel, then the letter itself, and now you should have it. But if you don't still have it, what I would advise you is you click on save. Okay, save is not working, so just go ahead and refresh. Sometimes all it needs is just a refresh. Okay, so possibly I'll also close this. I'll close the Excel just for the sake of, okay, it's not saved yet. So what I'll do now is I would possibly just refresh my automation. Yes, I want to go ahead and refresh. Okay, it's refreshing. Once it's back, we can try it, and it should work. Okay, we are back. Right, so what I'm just going to do now is I'm going to quickly add the list again. List row. Okay, so search for list row. You get to see it here, and then we can go ahead and repeat the same process. OneDrive, then here, then you select the location of the system, of the document rather. Go ahead to PR letters and Excel data, then you have this. Now if you click on this, you should see the option for table 1. Can you see it? This is table 1 displaying now. You have table 1 displaying. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and click on the table 1. Alright, go ahead and add the table 1. It says, is there any, you can keep the rest as it is. It's fine. You can keep the rest as it is. You don't have to add or remove anything. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to add the option to, hold on. Alright, our next option here is that we want to add the populate option, which will allow us populate the Excel, the document, that's the MS Word document. So you simply add a new step. Now once you add a new step, you want to click on populate. Alright, or just go ahead and search Word, trying to get what will give us that. Okay, Word Online. Then you should see an option. If you have Office 365, you should have the license for this, which says populate a Word template, right? Populate a Word template. Go ahead and click on it. Now what this is going to ask, what this is requiring from you is that you should be able to provide the details of the document so that it can populate it for everybody. So what I'm going to do is that I am going to click on location. Alright, so same thing, OneDrive for business, OneDrive for business, then the file directory, OneDrive, then the file itself. The file itself will be in the same directory, which is PR letters. Okay, PR letters. Then in this case, we'll be using the number 2, which is the Word template. So I'll expand that and go ahead and click on this. Then just wait for it. Ooh, you can see it has shown all the various columns we specified in our data earlier, right? All the columns we specified in our data earlier. So everything is here now. So all we just need to do now is to select the right field that matches each of them into the correct dynamic fields. So to do that now, what we do is you click on currency. The first one is currency. So I'll go through my list here. and then I will select currency. So what this is doing is that it's applying for each. Why they apply for each is important is that you have so many records. So for each person that is going to do it, it's going to apply the same step and populate it for each individual. So that is what they apply for each is representing here. So we can go back, expand it. Now let's go and add the next one on our field is the country. So you scroll down till you find country, you populate that. Title, you go down, scroll the way down till you find title, you populate title. This is current, this one says I'll go up current band and step. Alright, then the employee's name. Alright, the employee's name. Let's go. Employee's name. Let's look for it. If you can't find it here, you can simply just search the name. It's allowed. Or I think it's called name. So we just do name. Okay, we have name here. Good. Now the next thing we have on the list is we have the current step and band again. So we provide that again. Uh, then we have the country. Make sure you provide all these fields. They are very important. Employee's name. Make sure you're supplying the name, right name. Then we have the salary. You can always search for the label's name. You have the salary, uh, CIP, CIP. Alright, so you can populate the CIP. And finally, we have the currency. Currency. Alright, so you can see I've been able to populate this Excel with the correct information for each of the various fields we have. Now let's go ahead and create the first document. All right, so you're going to search for the add a new action. Take note, this new action is within the apply for each. All right, it's within the apply for each. So now what we're going to do is let's look for OneDrive. It's called the create file. So we're going to create file, create file. We're going to try and create a file. So let's go create file. Okay, so now once we have the create file option, sometimes I like to give it name, but if you just to keep it very organized, so this is where we get to create the document file. So we'll just leave it at create file. So then what you want to do first thing here is to select the path, okay, the path to where you want this file to be created. So I'm going to click on here, go to PR letters, scroll all the way to PR letters, expand that. Now I want the MS Word document to be in generated letters, so I'll just click on that. Okay, so I'll be finding the data there. Now the file name, when they generate it, that is the name of the file. What do you want it to be called? So just because of any complication or any challenge, you might want to call the file name exactly the person's name, maybe possibly like that. So we can do something like name. We can do something like name. underscore, all right, underscore PR, all right, then PR. If you want to put letter, you can put PR letter. Then don't forget, this is a very important one. You can do dot docx. This which shows the file type we are creating. This is very important because that's what shows us the file type we are creating. Very, very important. Now, the next thing you want to do is the file content. This one is the body, when it populates it here, when it populates it, whatever is now the new body, that's what we want to populate. So you can just pass in that. Okay, so this is going to show, this is going to populate the body of it, or sometimes you can do body. All right, so that's it. Whenever it populates it, it should save the content that is populated as the body. That's the first part of it. If we do this now, we have successfully created the document, but we want some extras. All right, we want some extras like having to convert it to PDF. So what we do is we can go ahead and click on add new action. Then now you want to use the option for convert. Okay, you say convert. This will convert the file. All right, we want to convert this file. Very important. You have to convert this file. Now it's going to ask you what is the ID of the file you want to convert. So currently it's the ID from the create file. So you're going to just click on that. Then you want to convert it as PDF, Globe, HTML, or PNG. So we want PDF. So you click on PDF. Now once you convert it, you have to save the converted version. All right, you have to save the converted version as well. And how do you save the converted version? You simply click on new action, new. Then you want to add, you want to create a new file. So you say create file. All right, we have create. So let's go and create a file. Now once we create this file, what we need to do now is simply supplying the path, just like we did for the MS Word. So supplying the path of the document. So I'm going to go down, document PR letter. I don't want it in PR letter, pardon. So I want it in the dedicated folder for it, which is the PDF folder inside PR letter. So I'll expand this. I have PDF, right? That's good. So now the next thing I want to do now is to go ahead and add the file name just from what we have from the previous one. So you want to add the file name. That's straightforward. And then secondly, don't forget to add the file content. Okay, so this is the flow so far. So what you want to do, a quick recap is we imported our Excel, then we populated our document, then we created the document, converted it to PDF, and store the PDF version. all inside the loop. All right. So now, once we are done, we can collapse all of this and simply save. All right. Go ahead and save. Now, if you're watching this, I would appreciate you give it a thumbs up. Any encouragement will be highly motivating. So do well to like, share, comment this. All right. So now let's proceed. Now, what we have next is to simply run the flow and see if it works. Right. So what do? You simply click on tests. You click on test. Now, once you click on test, you want to do a manual test. So you click on manual test. Now you say test. Alright, so you click on test and wait for it. It's currently loading. It will try synchronizing all the libraries we need. All of them has the right permissions. Then you click on continue. Now and run flow. Okay, it says flow is running successfully. So let's wait for it. It's currently running. Okay, it's in the face of running over here. So remember we have 10 of them. So we have 10 IDs that are currently running. So each of them will run and create their unique file. So even if you have a million employees, this will automatically create something like a custom letter for everybody in minutes. So this is running. Let's just wait for them. Once it's done to tell us successful, then we can check the folders for each of them. Alright, so we get to check the folder for each of them to see if they are truly all working. Alright, as you can see, we have the file showing your flow ran successfully. But how do we know if it ran successfully or not? Right, so that's the big question. How do we validate if it worked or not? To check if it worked or not, you go back to your OneDrive. Make sure you go back to the folder PR letters, PR letter. Firstly, go ahead and open the generated letter folder, and you can see you have a good number of letters here. We have about 10 of them. So let's go ahead and open one and see. It's coming up. Yes, you can see. Look at if you can see, you get to see that the letter, custom name, custom job title, the current role, country, the step, and all the columns we populated are showing correctly. That is, all of them are working correctly. So let me just turn on light mode here. You can see these are the letters. The PR letters is showing a detailed breakdown of it, and also at the top here. This is for the MS Word document. So this MS Word document, don't forget, we also went ahead to create a PDF version of each of them. So let me go ahead and open a PDF version of one of them so that we can see PDF. So let's see. We have this person. You get to see the PR letters is coming up. We have, um, yeah, we got it, we got it, we got it. So you can see, I'm going to zoom in so that you can see. Let's do about 100%. Okay, so you can see custom name, custom title, custom job roles using Power Automate, right? Everything works. So the flow ran successfully, and we have a list of folders. If I go back to the PDF folder, you get to see even if you have 100 employees or 1,000 employees, with this you get to be able to customize every everybody's uh, PR letter differently, none with similarities, and it saves you a whole lot of time. So next time, if you just need to repeat the same flow, all you simply do is just to change the data and the template of the data, and you're good to go, right? So that is how we have been able to go thus far, where we have been able to see and also utilize Power Automate. Remember where we started from? We started by customizing the letters, then we formatted our table, then after that we went to Power Automate to create, went to OneDrive to create a folder template. We called the main folder PR letters. Inside it we have four categories, which are the we have four categories of it, which are the MS Word templates, data templates, then the generated folders, and the PDF folders. So with this, we're able to have a good number of all of them. Now, remember that you always have to keep the data in the correct folders to achieve the best result at any point in time. All right, so please take note of that. Now, that's one automation done. That is one automation done. We're going to take a quick recess and come back for the next one. Thank you. All right, so everybody have been able to watch to this point. If you have questions, do well to drop it in the comment section. I will try and answer those questions. If you have questions, to drop them in the comment sections, and I will provide solutions to those questions. If you have any comments, do well to drop it as well. And I would also appreciate that you subscribe to the channel. All right, we are back. So the next flow is going to be similar, but quite different in its own way and unique. So let's look at a case study of having to manage a lot of tasks, over the week and over the weekend, right? And you often have challenges um, filtering out tasks that are important and tasks that are not important. All right. So quickly before I proceed, all the flows and links will be dropped later. If you need it, reach out and I would send the link to you. All right. So let's go ahead and look at the new task we're trying to talk about. The new automation we'll be doing is a tax tracker. Okay, tax tracker. What happens here is that it gets to track the various tasks that is going on in your tax systems. So in this case, we are not going to use an automated cloud service, but we are going to use what we call a scheduled cloud flow. Now, you can call it tax reminder. Yeah, you can call it tax reminder. You can call it reminders. You can call it tax manager. You can call it tax manager. All right. Now, there's always this question on it asking you how long do you want this flow to run? Okay, how long would you want this flow to run? You can specify a start date and an end date, a start date and a time. So for now, I will just say let it start on Friday. All right, then time should be 10 a.m. All right, so on every Friday should remind me of that of my own undue maybe tax that I should remember. So let's let's see 10 a.m. 10 a.m. is fine. Now, how often should it repeat this? How often should you repeat it? Let's say I want it to repeat it twice in a week. So here will be two. But in this case, I want it to repeat itself once in a week, meaning it's only going to work once every week, right? Once every week. So what do we do? Um, then I'll come to the next one where it says minutes. You can see you have once in a month, once in a week, once in a day, once in an hour, and you have some minutes and seconds. So we want this to be recurrent every week. So uh, we can have every week, once a week. Then you can click on create and wait for it. Just as I earlier said in my first task, is that um, just for personal preference, I prefer the classic view. So I'm gonna go to my classic view, switch without saving. Now, once I'm here, I can now say, all right, so let's go and add a new action. Remember I told you we have tags. There's a platform called Microsoft Planner. If you have not heard of it, I'm going to do a Google search now. Okay, let's do a Google search of Microsoft Planner. What Microsoft Planner is, Microsoft Planner. It's a simple, as you can see, it says it's a simple way of organizing tasks and it's mobile friendly, iOS, and so many things. So let's say you organized your tasks in so many ways and you want to be able to keep track of it, and any task that is left for you by the end of the week, you get a reminder about it. That's what we want to do, right? So because of that single reason, we are going to go back to our flow, then we're going to import what we call planner. You can search for planner. Now once you search for planner, you get to see um, where it says list my tax or list tax. Let's go and see lists. Okay, list tax. So you go and click on list tax. Now if you click on list tax, it's going to ask you to select the group and the plan ID. What is the group? What is the plan ID? It's simply the group. The group ID is simply the planner group you want to use or you want to specify. So I'm going to open my Microsoft Planner to give you a better insight into what it is. So if I click on Planner, okay, it's going to open and we are going to look at it quickly before we proceed with the automation. Alright, this is what a Microsoft Planner looks like. Alright, where you have things like the various my tax that have been associated to you. Like me, I'm into the HR system, so I have the HR system here, which has some specified tasks that should be done and some tasks that are not yet done, right? So these tasks are not done yet, some of them are done. So how do we get to manage this kind of tasks and keep track of it such that maybe every Friday you get a reminder telling you of tasks that are currently not complete and tasks that are currently complete? So that's what we're going to be looking at, right? Now let's quickly go back to, so I have some different kind of tasks here that are not complete yet. So let's go and see how we can automate it so that we get to see tasks that are available and tasks that are done and tasks that are overdue. So if we come back to the tax ID here, you can click on this arrow. You get to see that it's going to list out the various tax groups I have. I have the company, gifts, but what we want to work on is the HR. Okay, the HR I just showed you. Now once you have that, you want to go into that. You see you have the onboarding, HR employee onboarding, HR employee onboarding. So you click that. Now once you click that, you get to see that, look at the name of the file. It's exactly what is here in the name of the file that you are going to get to see in the automation. All right, so make sure you are using the right plan ID. Now once that is done, the next thing is you want to add some conditions. right? You want to get some conditions. Let's go ahead and wanted want to see want to be able to filter that if a tax is complete, we know it's 100%. So let me open one of these tags, like registration for onboarding. Now I'm opening these tags just to show you a little bit of what I'm saying. So let's say this tax is complete and you check it as complete. All right, you get to see that it marks it complete, and this means you have 100% in it. But if it is not complete, all right, you get to see that say it's not complete here. All right, we have started, in progress, and not complete. So I want to write a filter. What this filter will do is simple. It will check at every point in time if the tax shows 100%, is not less than 100%, then we know that it is complete. And if it is less than 100%, we know that that tax is not complete. So how do we get to do that? We have a function in an action called filter, right? We have an option action called filter. So you search for filter. Now it's called filter array. So you're going to filter out some things from this array now. So let's get to filter some of them. Okay, so now you could see you have the option for filter. All right, so I'm going to pass in the value, okay, the value here. Then I'm going to see if I should choose a field. Now this field here is that I'm looking for the percentage field. So you look for percentage, just go ahead and search percentage. Okay, percentage complete. Now we are saying if the percentage complete is equal to, no, but we don't want equal to. If it is less than, that means if the percentage of the value complete is less than our value, which is 100%, that means it should filter it out as not complete, right? So that's what we are aiming to achieve, meaning that anytime this value is less than 100%, it get to track it that it is not complete. And it is above 100%, we know, or it is equal to 100%, we know that um, that task is already completed. That's the first filter option. Now, the next thing I want to do here is that if I filtered it out, I want to be able to initialize. Um, I want to be able to send a message, a custom message, right? So I'm going to initialize a variable. I'm going to say initialize. I'm going to initialize a variable. All right, so I'm trying to get that one. Okay, let's just search variable. Search variable. Okay, I'm initializing a variable. Now, what I want to do here is that I want this to be like the body, because I want to be able to send an email to whoever has not completed their tasks at the end of the week. Okay, so to do that, I will initialize a variable that will be used to check and send a custom message if they are not available, if those tags are not complete. So let's call that variable. Let me just initialize a variable called email. You can call it email body, email body. Then this is going to be a set of string definitely, and I'm going to copy a template here which I'll show you right about now. So what this template is basically saying hello, this is a friendly reminder. I'm just using HTML tags here to format this correctly. Okay, just using HTML tags to format it correctly. So what this is simply saying is hello, this is a friendly reminder that you have incomplete Microsoft plan text. Then I have some body. So what this is going to do eventually is that it's going to show you, number one, it's going to show you um, the tax name and the due date for the tax, right? So you're going to get to see the day the tax is due and definitely the tax name itself. So that's going to be like the body of the message. Now that I've done that, let's go ahead and um, minimize this so that we can add a new step. We're going to add a new step. Now this new step is going to be like some custom settings. So I'm going to add a condition here. Okay, so let's see. So let's add a condition action, condition. So you pick a condition here. Now based on the filter, if that condition checks, what this is going to do is that it's going to check the length of the body of the filter. If it is not equal to 0, remember, if it filter it to show that this is complete and not complete, and the length inside it is not 0, what it will simply do is that it's going to be greater than 0. So what we are going to do here now is we are going to kind of add a condition that checks if that length is 0 or if it is greater than 0. So the first thing we want to do is we want to do length. We want to add an expression, not a dynamic content but an expression. Then you say length. Okay, then you're going to open the brackets, then come to your dynamic content and apply the variable for the body filter. No, sorry, I'll remove that. I want the variable for the body filter, not the email variable. So I'm adding the body filter. Now that I've added the body filter, now let's see, I should be able to add the conditional statements. So once you're done, you can click on OK. Now if you check, is this greater than 0? If it is greater than 0, that means yes, there are some set of tags. Alright, if it is greater than 0, then we know that there are some tags. If it is less than 0, we know there are no tags, right? So let's go. Now on the side of the yes, if there are tags, we're going to supply in some queries. Okay, we're going to supply in some queries to it now. This is just um, this is just for it to be able to detect or know if truly the if truly the attacks. So let's go ahead and click here. What this will do is that we can create a custom email now to send to whose tax is not complete, which is you can do you can say send email. Okay, want to use Outlook, then we use the V2 version. Okay, send V2 version. Now once you have the V2 version, you could specify to whom do you want to send it. All right, to whom do you want to send it? In this case, we could just do my email. Okay, all right, coming. I could do within Office 365 or outside Office 365, but let's do outside Office 365. Then we'll check it out. Okay, email.com. All right, so now that we have that, so it's going to send it to this email. So now subject can be, we could have incomplete tax. We could just have something to as the subject as maybe um, incomplete tax. Then don't forget that we have already customized the body of the message before. So all you just need to do is supply in that column, which is the body of the message, and then you can set the sensitivity. You can leave every other thing, but one thing I like to do is I can CC maybe somebody like a manager or something like that. You can CC manager. So let me CC this manager. It's a different email, so possibly, or you BCC somebody. Then you can set the priority level. If it's something very very high, you can set the priority level to be high. Okay, so once you set the priority level to be high, you get to see that um, you can now go ahead and quickly try to save everything you have done. So let's minimize this and try to save. All right, so wait for it to save. All right, it's saved already. So we're going to do a manual test. We're going to do a manual test now, and this is just a manual test to check if it's going to work. Okay, so it's coming up, and you can say run flow. Okay, done. So it's saying it's running the flow. Let's go ahead and let it run the flow, and it says successful. So what that means is that I should, in any moment, if I check the email address um, I, I put in just now, if I put in the email address, I should be able to see that that has been sent. Okay, so yeah, we have it here. All right, you can see okay, I have zero tax, but you can see how it's going to look like. You're going to have some tax here, some here the due date. So this is how it's going to look like if there were to be tasks that are due that have not been completed. Okay, so these are the ways you're going to likely see those outcomes. Now, remember I did a BCC to maybe the manager. The manager too should be able to get that. So let's go back to our automation quickly. I'm going to open the Outlook here so that you also see that a copy will be BCC to or CC to the manager, just to show that truly that reminder was sent, but the person maybe ignored it or did not act on it. So if you see here, if you get to see here, you get to see that we have the draft coming up. Okay, I have it here. Let's see, same thing here, and it all works. All right, so you can see that we have it here, and it shows that it's working. So with that, I think you can see that we have done a good number of automations, and I want to believe this has been informative. If you have any question, do were to drop it in the comment section, as we'll be taking a quick recess. Thank you.